You guys know how certain celebrities transcend being celebrities and become something even more? They become memes. Think of like Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris is no longer that ex-martial arts, now actor guy. Chuck Norris is the meme that we've made of him. The like unstoppable, like real-life Super Saiyan character. Keanu Reeves to a degree. Keanu Reeves is actually a good example. Yeah, Keanu Reeves has become more of a meme than a man. Will Smith, kinda, I guess, but I really can't think of a better example than where we started. However, another figure, and the one I want to talk about today that this applies to greatly, is Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg has transcended being a famous music artist and has become a meme. Borderline the symbol of smoking pot, the world's most popular drug outside of maybe alcohol or nicotine and caffeine. He's the guy. He's the weed guy. Very few people associate anyone other than Snoop Dogg with weed. And he's put in a lot of work over the course of decades to like establish that, kind of reputation. Smoke weed every day. Here's the thing, though. I used to be a big fan of Snoop Dogg. I think many of us were. He's a big meme. He's the weed guy. Smoke weed every day, sipping on gin and juice. Laid back. Got my mind on my money and my... Yeah. Like, everybody loves them some Snoop Dogg. When he was good. The problem is, he kind of sucks shit now. I'm not joking, okay? He's like a massive hypocrite and a total fucking loser. Now... This was my first... Let me tell you guys what my first clue was that he kind of sucks now. I got a video recommended to me about 4 months ago. A new Snoop Dogg music video. And I noticed something. Featuring Tom Petty? Really? And Jelly Roll. That sounds unrealistic, but okay. And also, fuck Jelly Roll too. Annoying, cringy, music artist. It's like, how could it be featuring Tom Petty? That sounds... a little bit weird. Tom Petty and Jelly Roll, very odd combination, but okay. And there was something odd about the thumbnail, which I'll show you now, and you'll probably get the idea of what I'm talking about. That thumbnail just looks a little artistically directionless, doesn't it? At a glance, it looks unassuming, but if you actually stare at it for a minute, you start to realize, oh no. That's generated with AI, isn't it? Now, this is the official Snoop Dogg TV YouTube channel, okay? I'm gonna mute the music video, okay? So that the song doesn't get it copyrighted. Now, there are some pretty neat effects they did with legitimate editing and stuff here, but this video uses an absurd amount of AI. Like, months back, Snoop Dogg joined the AI music video trend, I guess, because this is some serious corner cutting. Yep, that's right. Snoop Dogg has fallen to being a pro AI cuck. Look how ugly this music video is once you know it. Like, there was always something that stood out to me that was like weird, and eventually I figured out like, yeah, this is AI. It's not like artistically creative or different. It's definitely AI. Now, unfortunately, we can't listen to the song because YouTube would literally drop a nuke on me. However, now we get the actual visuals. Now, some of these are real images. It's not all AI generated, but a lot of the visuals are AI. Possibly one of the worst examples of its usage is here, where like you have this constantly shifting, like trees disappearing, reappearing, and buildings morphing and coming in and out of existence of like what is supposed to be, I'm pretty sure, LA's urban sprawl. And it's like, you wouldn't do that. Like, no one would do that if they were physically, like, depicting a place. Like, how would you make that? Look how, like, this looks like it's being, when you know that, you know it's like, it's trying to generate a bunch of frames of a giant cityscape, and to do that it's just coming out looking that way, but they passed it off as like creative and artistically uh, interesting, I guess. But it's all clearly AI. Like, this is just AI sucking. There are some pretty cool edits done here, don't get me wrong. Like, there's not no human factor involved here, but watching the music video and listening to the song, like, the song's all right, but listening or watching the music video, especially here, like, this entire environment he's in right now makes no fucking sense. Like what is this? What even is this? Like, there's no actual like cohesion to anything, and it's at first I thought it looked cool, but knowing that's all AI, it's glaring how flawed its usage here is, and knowing that it was done to cut corners, not for some artistic creativity, it feels so soulless. Like, the idea that Snoop Dogg is now an AI cuck really broke any semblance of the meme that was Snoop Dogg that existed in my mind. And that all kind of culminated, this Snoop Dogg L arc has all sort of culminated in this video coming out of Snoop Dogg talking about why he does not like going to the movies anymore, certainly not with any kids in his family, due to the LGBT agenda, and how he's afraid of his kids and grandkids, or I should say grandkids, seeing gay people. Mind you, this is a man who back during the 90s produced several albums that were literally just porn. Like, straight up, like, just porn. I think it was like, one of them was like Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style or something, okay? Massive fucking hypocrite that this man built his career on being like counterculture and selling sex to like young 20s people and teens and stuff, and now he's an adult. Like, or now he's an adult. Now he's a very far along adult with a lot of money and a lot of, like, he's gained a lot from that career, and now he's like hypocritically turning conservative. Like, going against all the stuff that made him his wealth, money, and success, and now pulling this, like, weird, oh, think of the children bullshit. Like, dude, how the fuck are you gonna argue this shit when so much of your, like, career in the 90s and early 2000s was about, like, the music industry trying to censor you? You know, like, this is such a cucked, cringe turnaround. Or not, fall off. This is a fall off. Snoop Dogg just straight up fell off. Let's watch.
What you see is what you see. They putting it everywhere.
Yeah.
I took my grandson to see what was the movie with Buzz Light?
Toy Story?
Not that one, but
the new Buzz. The Lightyear. I think it's called
with
Lightyear.
Kiki Palmer's in that movie. So we watching it, and she had a baby with a woman. Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. Oh, shit. I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie.
Like, why are so many people, like, scared of their kids learning about the world and then going to them to ask them about it? Like, the movie didn't even suggest that being gay was good or bad. The movie just showed gay people and left the kid with the question to their parent or grandparent, what was that? You could have literally said anything you wanted. If you wanted, you could have used this as an opportunity to push homophobia onto your kid. This movie's depiction of gay people was completely neutral. You could have twisted it into whatever you wanted. But their existence in the movie, causing your child to acknowledge that they exist and asking for you to explain gay people, like, that's the problem? That's what you're afraid of? That's like the, oh my god, I gotta keep my kids from doing it. Why not? They're literally gonna go to you and ask you your opinion on the issue and then take it as fact. Why would you not want your kid to do that if you're a right-wing homophobe? You don't want your kid to go to you and take your opinion on gay people as fact instead of forming their own? I'm just saying, I feel like if you're a homophobic parent, like, this particular depiction is not necessarily the end of the world for you. Like, I don't know.
Hey, man, watch the movie. They just said she had a baby. They both women's. How did she have a baby? So it's like, it's fuck me. I'm scared to go to the movies now. Like, y'all throwing me in the middle of shit that I don't have an answer for.
You could have just said they adopted the kid.
it threw me for a loop. I'm like, what part of the movie was this? These are kids that we have to show that at this age. Like,
That part.
they're going to ask questions.
Yeah.
They are going to ask. I don't have the answer.
Yeah.
What do you not have the answer? Just say, like, yeah, some people are gay. You know, they adopted the kid. Wow. You didn't even talk over much of the scene. And you've explained it just fine. Kids aren't stupid. They're just curious. They ask a lot of questions. Yeah. So yeah, Snoop Dogg kind of fell off. Granted, there's been other evidence. There has been. If I remember right, didn't he basically endorse Donald Trump? Yeah, he performed for Trump's inauguration at the beginning of the year, didn't he? I gotta disable my ad blocker. Why? Man. I think the corporations are winning, guys. I think I'm just gonna uninstall all my ad blockers permanently, because, like, man, it keeps getting way too in the way of me reading articles every day. Like, it's way more work to turn off the ad blockers than to have had ads on my screen at this point. Anyway. Snoop Dogg went back on his word with Trump performance. He deserves the backlash. Snoop Dogg lost 570,000 followers on Instagram following his crypto ball performance, and 20,000 unfollowed him on X. That's right. That is right. Snoop Dogg has been enveloping himself in the MAGA sphere and all of the tertiary degeneracy related to it for a while now. A lot of the right-wing culture on the internet is centered around, like, quick, easy money, too. So he's no doubt gotten kind of greedy and is trying to see Trump as, like, an easy opportunity to, like, you know, bring back a little bit more of a flash of relevance and certainly income as well. Some people have been saying that he's broke. I don't know if that's true, but I definitely don't think that he's making as much as he used to. That is my bet. Snoop Dogg may be among the most renowned rappers globally for his decades-long career in business ventures. He's the CEO of Death Row Records. He served as a special correspondent and torchbearer for the 2024 Paris Olympics. He has received more than 24 awards, including MTV and American Music Awards. He's earned 16 Grammy Award nominations, has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and appeared in various commercials and films. He is a record producer, DJ, entrepreneur, and an enthusiastic advocate for cannabis. However, his recent decision to perform at the inaugural crypto ball for President Donald Trump last month made him infamous among many in the African American and hip-hop communities. He continues to catch flack for his decision, and rightly so, because the issue gets to the heart of leadership and responsibility in the black community. Civil rights movement's leaders warned popularity is not the same as leadership. While playing for the President of the United States might be considered a crowning achievement for many artists, it was shocking to see Snoop Dogg, 53, hyping up a MAGA crowd, given that just 8 years ago he called Trump a racist and threatened to criticize any African American who chose to perform at his first inauguration. Which one of you... terms I cannot say. God damn, Snoop Dogg. Jesus Christ, chill the fuck out. Oh my god. Oh my god, I can't say any of that shit. My hex code. There's too many zeros in my hex code, guys. I can't say these words. Which one of you redacted going to be the first to do it? I'm waiting. I'm going to roast the redacted out of one of you. Redacted for doing it. Which one of you redacted is going to do it first? He asked again. So that was Snoop Dogg years back when he was criticizing people, particularly any, like, black artist who wanted to perform for any of Trump's events or rallies. So, like, very clearly, there's been a 180. Like, Snoop Dogg's position on this issue has very clearly changed. I'll say it for you. Let me see. I'm okay, Lord Rose. Those words have come back to bite an artist known as the Dog Father. After his recent performance, Snoop Dogg's fans roasted him, but instead of staying quiet, he responded with an Instagram video saying, "Get your life right. Stop worrying about mine. I am cool. I am together. Still a black man. Still 100% black." What the fuck is happening? What is fucking happening, dude? What is going on? He's going crazy, right? Like, we all agree? Like, he's not all there anymore. Like, 10 years ago, clearly he was, like, himself. Something happened in the last 10 years where, like, he's lost his grip on the actual him, and he's turning into, like, old, deranged Snoop Dogg, clearly. Something's up. That is some weird shit. It sounds like he's gone crazy. I mean, kind of unrelated, but do you guys hear that, like, Bruce Willis has, like, severe Alzheimer's and the symptoms are getting, like, bad? Like, Bruce Willis is probably going to die in, like, the next couple months. Like, it's really sad, but shit. These are crazy times we're in, aren't we? Man. The issue goes beyond the rapper himself. It raises crucial questions about who is chosen for leadership roles within the black community. The civil rights movement's leaders of the past warned that a person's popularity does not equate to genuine leadership, nor does it ensure that an individual will remain true to their principles. Often, popularity is merely a superficial characteristic. Snoop Dogg criticized Trump for years before changing tune. Snoop Dogg's discontent with Trump stretches back several years and is marked by sharp criticism. In November 2017, following Trump's inflammatory tweet about the NFL, running back Marshawn Lynch, who chose to remain seated during the national anthem while standing for the Mexican anthem, Snoop Dogg expressed his strong support for the Oakland Raiders star. In an unfiltered response, Snoop Dogg stated, obscenity, Donald Trump, expletive. He continued with biting sarcasm, suggesting they should suspend your dumb redacted for all the goofy redacted you do every day. When are you going to get suspended, redacted? Redacted, you, Donald Trump, and everything you stand for. He ended his video by saying, America, y'all should be ashamed to call this piece of redacted y'all a president. He ain't mine. Where did the Snoop Dogg go? What the fuck happened? We know it's not the weed that did it to him. The weed's been a factor for as long as he's been famous. This is a new development. Interestingly, Snoop Dogg said America should feel ashamed, especially since he admitted that he voted for the first time in the 2020 presidential election to get Trump out of office. That is true. That doesn't surprise me. Biden got the most votes, like, by a lot in American history. There's never, by sheer numbers, there's never been a bigger election win in U.S. history than Biden. So a lot of people did vote for the first time for Biden. He said his vote didn't matter, and his criminal history made him ineligible. He was convicted of a felony in 1990 and 2007. Snoop Dogg also made headlines in 2017 for a music video to Lavender, in which he depicts a mock assassination of a clown representing Trump. The video ends with the mock Trump shackled in chains and Snoop smoking a joint with his friends. How did he, like, flip on this? What is going on? Like, how do you go from being such a Trump hater to being on his dick like this? Trump fired back in a tweet saying, "Can you imagine what the outcry would be if @Snoop Dogg, failing career and all, had aimed and fired the gun at President Obama? Jail time." Is Snoop Dogg scared of going to jail because Donald Trump hates him? It might just be money. I think money literally just turned him. Good Lord. And Snoop Dogg lost 570,000 followers over this year, and shortly after he put out that god-awful AI video that we watched at the start of this segment. And now we're finding out that he is a homophobe. He truly has fallen off, hasn't he? Like, he is a shell of his former self. Now here's where I feel I need to include a little bit of a silver lining to the story. Guys, you gotta learn to stop building parasocial relationships with celebrities. It's very easy to grow to like someone's work, whether it be an artistic work, whether it be their music, or their drawings, or their movies, or their anything, right? Their YouTube videos. It is very important, though, that you do not grow to basically get too close to the idea of them, essentially. Because you're almost always setting yourself up for some kind of disappointment. The parasocial relationships that people have with celebrities lead to, like, mass depression when a celebrity dies. You know, like, a lot of people get severely depressed when one of their favorite artists or celebrities dies, and I feel like that's fair, but man, like, it's also kind of unhealthy, arguably, when you really think about it for a minute. Yeah, like, especially when they're already retired and stuff, you know, like, there's arguably an unhealthy factor there when you're, like, completely, like, broken over the death of someone who doesn't know you, you know, like, it's kind of odd. It's a little weird. It's a little weird. And so, with that in mind, I think it's important that you practice a concept known as the death of the artist, one in which you take the art for what it is. You're a fan of the art, not necessarily the artist. And you could be a fan of the artist. I'm being a little bit harsh here, right? But, like, actually, you know what? K-pop Demon Hunters has a really good, a very good, sort of commentary on this idea. Parasocial relationships are quite unhealthy, and they can be weaponized in bad ways, and they can backfire, you know? You don't want to grow super attached to the idea of Snoop Dogg over the course of decades of being a fan of him, and, you know, he's one of your favorite music artists, you love his music, then he disappoints you immensely, and the next thing you know, you have to, like, you can't help but, like, vomit if you listen to any of his music, right? Like, I don't want that to be your experience. If you like Snoop Dogg's old, good music, practice the death of the artist. Try not to think of it as Snoop Dogg music. Think of it as the song, right? And that you like that song. It's still fine to listen to his music, especially his old, good stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just, sadly, the later part of his career, he fell the fuck off. There are many cases in which this happens. It's fine to listen or enjoy works from people that are problematic as long as the works themselves are not inherently problematic in the same way, or promoting said problematic nature, right? It's a different story when it comes to financially supporting these people directly. You know, we're talking like buying products that are licensed from J.K. Rowling's IP, for instance, but that's a whole deeper conversation. I'd say if you like listening to Snoop Dogg's classic music, try not to let it wiggle too far into your head that he's completely fallen off and is pro-Trump now. Try to just enjoy the music, understand that when he made it, he was based, and at some point, he just fell the fuck off. Anyway, folks, if you enjoyed this segment, if you found it enjoyable, educational, or entertaining in any way whatsoever, then please consider leaving a like and a comment down below on my stream, videos, and anything new you see on my channel. It really, really helps a ton. I mean it. Every like and comment boosts the channel and the algorithm, and only about 10% of you guys actually like and comment on my videos, and that's on the higher end of things, on a really well-performing video. So if we can up that to like 15, 20, 25% even, dude, the algorithm will send us to the moon. I'm curious to see if you guys can pull it off. In fact, let's see if this video can get to 1,000 likes and 500 comments. Curious if you guys can pull it off. I'd be very impressed if you can. And of course, finally, if you want to support me directly, financially, help me keep the lights on and a roof above my head here at the Xander Hall studio, then please consider donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub to someone else on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or support me through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, Patreon, or buy some custom Xander Hall merch through the Streamlabs link down below. Regardless of how you support me, though, thank you so much for watching, as always, and have a good one.